We live in a world built for comfort. Heated seats, instant meals, one-click solutions. We have more convenience than any generation in history, yet anxiety, fear, and weakness are on the rise. Why? Because in chasing comfort we forgot something powerful. Discomfort is where strength is born. The ancient Stoics didn't just accept discomfort, they sought it out. They believed that voluntary discomfort is the path to freedom. Not because pain is noble, but because when you train for hardship, life no longer controls you. In this video, we'll explore why Stoics like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus embraced discomfort, and how you can use this practice to become mentally tougher, emotionally unshakable, and spiritually free. The problem with comfort. We're told comfort is the goal, that success means never struggling, that a good life is a soft life. But the Stoics saw the danger in this. Seneca warned, a man who has been at constant leisure will break down under the first serious strain. He believed that comfort makes us fragile, it gives us the illusion of strength, but the reality of dependence. When life is easy, the smallest hardship feels massive. When you avoid discomfort, you start fearing it. And once you fear discomfort, you're at the mercy of the world. The Stoic Solution? Train for discomfort on purpose. Seneca's practice of poverty. Seneca was one of Rome's wealthiest men. He had access to anything money could buy. Yet once a month, he would wear his poorest clothes, eat the simplest food, and sleep on the ground. He wasn't punishing himself, he was preparing himself. He asked, "Is this the condition I feared?" By voluntarily experiencing discomfort, he reduced the power it held over him. This gave him peace, because he knew, even if he lost everything, he could endure. Try one of Seneca's practices. Eat only bread and water for a day. Wear the plainest clothes you own. Sleep without your usual comfort. Ask yourself, Scene 5, Assessing Needs. Can I live without this? You'll find the answer is usually yes. Marcus Aurelius and the Inner Fortress. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet he knew that real strength wasn't external, it was internal. He wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." He believed that hardship can't touch a prepared mind, but to prepare, you must train. Discomfort reveals who you are, it builds what comfort never will. Patience, fortitude, self-control, clarity. Marcus saw life as a battlefield, and discomfort as the training ground. Modern application. Wake up earlier, take a cold shower, start the day with silence and no phone. These small discomforts harden your mind and soften your ego. Epictetus and the power of endurance. Epictetus was born a slave. He endured beatings. At one point his master twisted his leg until it broke. But instead of hating his pain, Epictetus accepted it. He taught his students, difficulties are things that show what men are. Discomfort isn't the enemy, it's the mirror. It shows you where you are weak and where you can grow strong. When you avoid challenge, you avoid growth. But when you lean into it, you develop the most important skill in Stoicism: resilience. Try this. Each week, deliberately choose discomfort. Walk instead of drive. Go without your favorite treat. Sit with a hard emotion instead of numbing it. These practices, while small, build a deep foundation of inner strength. Why modern life needs ancient discipline. We don't face Roman wars or famines, but we face a different threat: mental and emotional weakness brought on by overcomfort. If you've never trained your will, how will you stay strong when life tests you? If you've never practiced hardship, how will you act when crisis comes? The Stoics didn't want you to suffer, they wanted you to be unshakable, because life is unpredictable. Comfort is a soft cage. Discomfort, chosen wisely, is your training ground. How discomfort builds true freedom. The Stoics believed that the less you need, the more free you become. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." When you prove to yourself that you can go without, you stop fearing loss, you stop clinging to things, you stop being controlled by comfort, you begin to walk lighter. You're not chasing ease, you're choosing clarity. Voluntary discomfort versus forced suffering. Let's be clear, the Stoics didn't romanticize pain. They believed in voluntary, chosen discomfort, for the sake of growth and perspective. There's a difference between being thrown into chaos versus stepping into challenge to become better. The former is trauma, the latter is training. Voluntary discomfort builds preparation, not punishment. How to build a Stoic discomfort routine. Start small, start simple, but start consistently. Daily, try to take a cold shower, skip one meal mindfully, walk in silence for 15 minutes, wear something simple or unfashionable, delay gratification by waiting 10 minutes before acting on impulse. Weekly, do one thing you're afraid of, spend 24 hours offline, sleep without a pillow or on a harder surface, speak your truth kindly, even if it's uncomfortable. Each practice trains the muscle of your will. And over time, you'll notice fewer things upset you, fewer people control you, and you recover faster from setbacks. That's Stoic strength, not loud but lasting. Discomfort builds virtue. At its core, Stoicism is not about suffering, it's about virtue. Living wisely, courageously, and justly. And discomfort builds every virtue the Stoics honored. Wisdom, when you reflect in silence instead of escaping. Courage, when you step into fear instead of avoiding it. Temperance, when you say no to excess and yes to discipline. And justice, when you do the hard right thing instead of the easy wrong. And discomfort builds every virtue the Stoics honored. Wisdom, when you reflect in silence instead of escaping. Courage, when you step into fear instead of avoiding it. Temperance, when you say no to excess and yes to discipline. Justice, when you do the hard right thing instead of the easy wrong. Comfort can make you soft, but discomfort, chosen with intention, makes you noble. Final thoughts. Discomfort as a way of life. You don't need to live in a cave. You don't need to punish yourself or suffer unnecessarily. But if you want to be strong when life gets hard, you must practice when life is easy. That's what the Stoics did. They faced discomfort, not because they liked it, but because it freed them from fear. Seneca, Marcus, Epictetus, they weren't superhuman, they were human, who trained daily to become unshakable. You can do the same. Start today, start small, start on purpose. Because comfort is a trap, and discomfort, practiced wisely, is your freedom.